Hello and welcome back to Stop and Go F1, or should I say Stop and Go F3, as it's time to talk about the Formula 3 from the Spanish Grand Prix weekend. Pretty good weekend of Formula 3, a pretty exciting one, lots of twists and turns into here. We'll get into all of it in just a little bit. First, we have to say like and subscribe, of course, and a huge thank you to our members, the Joyous James and Dakota. If you want to have your name shouted out on the videos, you got to be an AI Racing World Champion or higher. Link in the description for all the information and all the other lovely treats you can get by being a member of the channel. So thank you to them. But let's get into the Formula 3, starting with yesterday's sprint race. It was Santiago Ramos on pole and Sami Megatunov alongside. Great start for Ramos to keep the lead. There was a four-wide moment further back. Mansell, Mini, Browning, all fighting. Then Voisin comes in as well to make that four-wide. Later on, Gabriele Mini gets a double overtake. Gabriele Mini looks okay in the sprint. Dreadful in the future race, just went completely backwards. Ramos and Megatunov, the two Trident cars, hit each other into turn one whilst fighting for the lead. Both have a puncture, both out. I imagine that debrief was dreadful. A 1-2 for Tridents turns into both cars out of the race. Actually, I think Ramos was okay. I think he was able to get back out, but Megatunov definitely out. Boyer just gifted the lead on lap 3. This, of course, brings out the safety car. So Voisin and Bedrin were also out as well. I can't remember if we saw a replay of what happened here, but we cut back to see Megatunov in the gravel trap, and yes, now there's two other cars there as well. So that was great. Very action-packed first 3 laps. Lots of moves made up and down the grid. Proper great Formula 3 stuff. Ramos was able to make it back to the pits, get a new tyre on there and get back out. But of course he's gone from the lead of the race to the back of the race. So Montoya is the one who's making the big gains here in the sprint race, up 12 places. Leon as well is up 6 places. He's up now into 7th. Montoya, fantastic stuff from him all weekend, just gaining place after place after place. The safety car ends on lap 8. Boyer goes surprisingly early, but manages to make it work and gets a good lead. Dunn is on the back of Boyer, though, for the lead a few laps later. Stenshorn passes Van Hoopen further down, and then there's a great little moment here between Noel Leon and Van Hoopen, just side by side for about 5 corners, and they give each other the perfect amount of room. Really good stuff. Van Hoopen able to keep P5 at that time, and that was on lap 10. Dunn goes round the outside of Mary Boyer, but wasn't able to make it stick. Really good defence from Boyer there. Gerfer is now right behind the race leaders as well. These guys fighting and just let Gerfer sneak up there like a sneaky little snake. Anyway, Dunn now looking down the inside of Boyer, but once again is unable to complete the move. That's on lap 16. 8 different cars have been noted for false starts. I don't think anything came of this, but it's a bit mad that it was 8 of them. Further back now, Montoya, who's been making some fantastic moves, goes to make a move on Gabriele Mini and gets it wrong. Mini gets a puncture and then just can't do anything. He's just a passenger from there as he slides across the track and takes out Montoya, taking them both out on lap 18. This brings out the safety car and the race finishes under safety car. Mary Boyer takes the win. He is our 9th winner in 9 races of Formula 3. Fantastic stuff. Dunn is in P2, the first ever Irish podium in Formula 3. Ollie Gerfer in P3, sorry, Dunn was P2. Stenshorn P4, Van Hoopen P5, Noel Leon P6, Fornaroli is 7th, Boganovic 8th, Lindblad is 9th, and Tim Tramnitz in P10. Then we go through to this morning's race, the F3 feature race. Where is it in my notes? Here it is. We've got Christian Mansell on pole position and Lindblad alongside. In terms of our championship protagonists, Gabriele Mini went into the race as championship leader. Awful qualifying for him means he starts 14th. Leo Fornaroli is P2 in the championship and he is 6th on the grid. Luke Browning is 3rd in the championship. He is 4th. It is the 100th race of Formula 3 and rain is in the air. Rain threatened all the way through. It never truly arrived. It started to rain quite heavily in the third sector on the last couple laps, but not really enough to really mean anything. They went slowly through the third sector on the last lap. But realistically, the rain didn't play too much of an influence into this race. I imagine it'll make more of an influence on F2, which starts, as I'm recording this, starts in about half an hour. That could be a wet start for the F2 guys, which could make that very interesting. Anyway, back to the F3, and it's a great start from Mansell, who's able to keep the lead. But the big gainer again is Sebastian Montoya, who has gained 4 places on the first lap. Still out the points. That's the thing about Montoya. His race pace is always very good, and he's very good at making these overtakes, but his qualifying isn't there. And I think if he can get his qualifying sorted, then we could see something good from him, because he has these moments where he looks fantastic. He's not consistent enough, and his qualifying isn't good enough, but there's things you see from Sebastian Montoya that make you think he could be very good if he can get on top of it and become that full package driver. Spots of rain begin to fall on lap 3, but as I said, not really serious enough. Lindblad is able to take the lead going around the outside of Christian Mansell into turn 1 on lap 5. Great move from Arvid Lindblad to take the lead. And this is when Gabriele Mini's awful weekend gets worse. Not only was it a dreadful qualifying for him, not only did he have the crash in the sprint race, but now he has an issue with the car as well. He says there's something loose in the cockpit, and he just spends the entire race now going backwards. Every time they cut to him, someone else is overtaking him. I think he finished like 20th or something like that. Really bad weekend for the guy who was leading the championship. Luke Browning has now been told to chase down Christian Mansell. Browning's in P3 at this point, told to push on the tyres. Goethe goes around the outside of Van Hoopen for P6. That's on lap 14. And Fornaroli is able to get past Solov for P4 on lap 22 or 25. Goethe now passed Solov as well a lap later for P5. Van Hoopen taps the back of Stenshorn, and Van Hoopen gets a puncture. This on the second to last lap. Later on, Stenshorn would get a puncture as well. So that one move there, taking both of them out of that race. Browning, who was told to push to try and catch Mansell, wasn't able to catch Mansell, and now his tyres are completely gone. He's in third place, but Leo Fornaroli is right behind him and is able to get him and take third place off him. Whilst they're fighting, Ollie Goethe is there yet again, and he is able to take P4 off Luke Browning as well, all on the last lap. Luke Browning going from P3 to P5. Then as we cross the line, the rain is coming down, but Arvid Lindblad wins. He is the first repeat winner of the year. He won the Bahrain sprint race, and here we are, he's winning the feature race at the Spanish Grand Prix. Christian Mansell holds on to P2. Leo Fornaroli completes the podium and is the new championship leader. Ollie Goethe in P3, Luke Browning in P5. Still good points for him. He would have been the championship leader if the race had ended one lap earlier, but still very good points for him despite losing 2 positions on the last lap. Solov in P6, Dunn in P7, Boyer is 8th, Beganovic is 9th, and then Noel Leon completes the top 10. Another good weekend of Formula 3, and you know what, it's another weekend here where you don't know which way it's going to go. Not, if we had our first repeat winner, but anyone can win in Formula 3 at the minute. And in terms of the championship, it seems to be changing every week. Mini was so good in Monaco. Comes here, nothing goes right for him. So, it could go anyway, and that's what we want to see. And it looks like we're going to be getting that in F2 as well, which is a very fun one as well. So there you go, that is Formula 3. Let me know what you thought of that weekend. Back in about an hour for all things Formula 2. I'll see you then.